morning. It's Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Bagua, the 8 palm changes. We're working on fundamentals for Bagua right now. And this is just a combination review, introduction, and a little bit of explanation, demonstration that covers the foundation work that we want to know about and then be able to develop in Bagua practice. Let's get started. Let me make an adjustment over here. A little more floor space would be good. There's always something, right? Feet about shoulder width apart. Yeah, we're doing footwork today. Stand straight. Basic stretch. Hands up from the front, back around to both sides. Up along center line. Reach out. Bend through the waist. As you go over, bend through the hips. Keep the knees bent. One more time, roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. I'm going to do this one time from the side. And pay attention to what happens from here up. That roll up through the spine, so one vertebra on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, until your back's straight. That process, distinguishing each vertebra in your spine and relaxing so that the fluid between those vertebrae is, more relaxed. It's the same as when we're practicing that we keep our mouth closed, keep the tongue up against the top of the mouth, the roof of the mouth, and we want to feel that there's more saliva as we're practicing. The mouth doesn't get dry. We don't need to stop and drink, get a drink, stop and get a drink, stop and get a drink. No, you don't want to do that. You don't. It's not a good thing. It's not that you don't want to ever stop and have a drink of water. It's that you can keep going and not have to stop. There's, I could talk about that at great length. The idea that you're going to leave class and go get a drink of water every 30 minutes. Not in my class. No. So, this technique has that similar effect to keeping the mouth closed, keeping the tongue up against the roof of the mouth, and allowing the body to generate naturally more saliva so that the body feels relaxed and refreshed. This same process works for all the joints, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, works for all of them, including the vertebra and the spine. Why is this important? Why does it matter? Right here. That twist right here. If I'm not at least modestly warmed up, I could hurt myself doing that. If I'm not paying attention to how much force can I use based on my body position and my body condition, I can hurt myself. All right? That little bit of warm up for me is enough. There's more. There's more. And part of the reason that this one movement is enough is because I've conditioned myself so that it can be, and I do other things so that this is part of what I do. All right. Footwork, talked about that, and that's part of why I'm in socks, is important, and how we move the foot, what we do here to be able to spin, which is the other reason I'm wearing the socks. My shoes get stuck on the rug, the socks won't. And I talked about this a little bit with the idea that we need to pay attention to the surface that we're on and whatever we have on our feet. Okay? So, carpet and sneakers. I'm not going to spin. It's really hard to spin on carpet with sneakers on. It is. Especially, kind of plushy carpet. Not going to happen. Indoor, outdoor carpet, it depends, but not really. Concrete, yeah. Dirt, yep, you can spin on dirt. Sneakers, yep, can. The grip on the sneaker, let me use this. These are mine. There is no grip on that sneaker. It used to look like this, okay? So a little bit of a wedge. You can see a little bit of a wedge through here. I can spin on these. I can put these on and I can spin. Alright. The point, if I'm wearing something that's got a grip, I can't. If I don't have a grip, yeah. Alright. So I could wear those. I could wear my socks. The work that we're doing, whatever it is, right? So here, as I close, now I have to be more careful and pay more attention to setting my foot and setting my leg here so that as I come around, this doesn't slide, right? I want it to slide so I can turn it more easily, but I have to be able to plant it and turn around it here instead of, I'm going to do it here. Now, I'm going to do it one more time. One more time. I leaned. Almost. Alright, I haven't done that in a while. That, come around, spin, right? It's iffy. That's the idea. I talked about this yesterday with the idea here that as we close, I'm just too quietly, right? From here. Come back around. Right here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. slide, go through, slide that turn, that continuous turn. All right. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this what I want, but I'm going to try. We'll see. I'm having fun with it. It's all right. Is nope. One more time. Close. It was close. It was close. Not right, but it's close. Each time, what did I do? Right? Leaning, turning too fast, turning too slow. Not quite right. That last one, I'm going to take it. Alright, and this is, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say it again. When you are practicing, especially if you are not in group practice where you're trying to keep up with everybody else, you're trying to work on something yourself, take the win. When you do something that works, stop. Hey, that worked. I felt that. I did. I felt it. And my replay is slow enough that I was able to see it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, but that's my point. Take the win. This spin. All right. Nice and easy. All right. It's first palm change. We don't need to pay as much attention to that spin or not at the beginning. We do need to pay attention to it later on. In palm change 3, and I'm going to start to the left here. Alright, so I'm coming around, palm change 3. No. Right? There we go, palm change 3. Spin down. And turn around. Now, that spin at the end, as well as the turn, back here, I'm here, left foot front, close, I gotta go around. Alright? Now, two things happen right there. First, my hand was a little too high. Second, I was leaning to look at the camera because I was talking. Try again. Yeah. This has to come up to split down. Spin again. And twist. Go around back to the other side. That anchor leg, whichever one it is, right? So stop here to the left. My left has to anchor. And then
as I turn, right, I need to pay attention. I need to pay attention. I come around so that I change, I need straight here, because as I turn, I'm going to change legs. Set the left, close right, weight on the right, spin, weight goes to the left so the right can extend. It has, if the body's not straight, I was talking about this before, right? If the body's not straight, if I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning back, and I will tell you that with the loose sweater, it's really easy to see if I'm leaning. It is. I can not straight. Makes it really easy. So I have to work a little bit harder. That's okay. This is why I wore it. That split here. No. Right? I want to. I'm thinking down. Right? I'm down. No. No. Yeah. Back is straight, twist and turn through the hip. Everything goes with this downward split. Close, twist. This leg is planted, right? My left leg is planted to open. Whichever foot you're turning around, body has to stay straight and centered so that the weight is well placed and ready to go to the other one. Okay, so I'm on the right leg, I got to be ready to go to the left. I'm on the left leg, I need to be ready to go to the right. In carrying the weight and the force through the turns, it's really, really easy to lean. Okay? The faster you're going, the more you lean, the faster you fall down. Really, it works that way. Okay, so I'm not overly fond of falling down. I'm not. Right? That leaning, I was. Right? I was. Now I wasn't. What did I change? I changed the way that I held my weight so that as I was spinning, I kept that center placement. Pull in a little bit, do this stretch, spin. Which direction am I going? Okay, this is outward. Go the other way, inward. It's really hard to do from here. It is. I want to go this way and I want to go outward. Inward, I have to move my foot. It doesn't want to go. From here inward, sure. Yeah, maybe not. Inward is harder than outward. Turn this way is harder than turn this way from this foot position. From here, turn this way is easier than here. This inward, it's outward. Which direction am I going? Right? I'm turning to the inside. Outward, inward. That circle as we turn, and I was talking about this with the feet, I'm going to talk about it some more with the feet. As we turn, as we're paying attention to doing more complex movements, going up and down, turning through the movement. So here, plant the heel so that I can come up, plant. This has to hold, the heel has to hold here on the front so that I don't go all the way around, right? Where do I want to stop? How good at I'm spinning? I'm iffy, right? I know people that can do 3-4 turns and not have a problem. Nah, never was me. Okay? But that idea that we could, well placed, rooted, not off balance, not really airy and light. That's not the quality of movement that we want to accomplish. So, light and fluffy? No. No. But we do want the sense of being supple and relaxed, so that the movement, whatever it is, has the outward appearance of being effortless. That even as we spin, that sense of where am I going, what am I doing, what happened, right? What just happened is relaxed, prompt, present, and has that quality of movement that we want with Bagua. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty solid. This pushes out, go out this way, push out. This pushes in, yeah, it does. Plant it. All right, that right here, here, a little bit deeper. Pivot, pivot. I don't pivot as good on my right foot. How we move, right, matters. So, if I'm trying to correct what I'm doing, what's going on with the right foot? Is there something I need to pay attention to there? Why was that a problem? I need to relax through the toes a little bit more. And I need to pay more attention to how I set my heel. Yeah, that was the correction. That's the correction. Being able to do that is one of the things that we want. It's one of the skills that we want to develop for practice. Whether it's Bagua or Tai Chi or Xingyi or any of the other work that we're doing. All of the physical foundations, all of the physical requirements. So, is my foot in the correct position here? No. My hand in the correct position here? No. What is the correct position? I don't know. How do I figure it out? Fingertips at the shoulder. Palm, the lago, lines up with the middle dantian. Okay? Fingertips usually don't go much higher than the nose. In this case, fingertips at the shoulder. Shoulder height. Your own shoulder, not mine. You know. Right? And centered. Right here. Seriously. That's it. Okay, now, what happens? That's it. That's what happens. All right, how do I find that position? Works on both sides. Lower hand, opposite hip, space between the arm and the chest. Across the front. Here. Okay. It's the space up in here, right? No? Yes? No? Yes? Where's your shirt? There it is. There you go. Right there. This is my hip. Opposite hip. Right here. That's what happens. Right? How do I find that position? It's here. Each time we practice, how many times do I do this particular move? Depends on what I'm practicing. I keep going around and change. Here we go again on the other side, and I'm going to go around again. And change. And here we go again. Alright, that movement is one of the foundation movements in Bagua. It is. That push out is also one of the foundation movements in Bagua. Right? We have all sorts of things that we do which are part of Bagua that have a physical outer frame. Here's what we need to do. Alright? Opening for Bagua. Alright? Opening for Xingyi. Oh, that's different. It is. Alright? So, Tai Chi. Alright? Each one, Tai Yi, each one has its own requirements. We want to pay attention to those. They will give us what we should do in the art. All of the arts work this center line. Bagua does it especially because as we're spinning, it's leaning forward. It doesn't matter which direction you're leaning. Okay, you lean this way, you lean this way, you lean this way, you lean this way. It doesn't matter. It's going to throw you off balance. The head has to be well placed and well carried. The footwork has to be there. It has to be solid enough that you can spin around your leg and not throw yourself off balance. Right? So I'm going to go to the outside to the left, and I'm going to try and come back around and stop right here. And I'm going to see if I can do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to try and do that. Yeah, nope. I had to move. It wasn't up and down. Right? Wasn't. I had to move my foot in order to get there. I can go to the right side, but I'm real sure that's not going to work out. But I'm going to do it anyway. Yep. Right? Not feeling it through the lower back and the hip. It wasn't there. Can I turn to the end? What can I do? Well, how can I fix that? Some of it is stepping method. Some of it is a little more stretching. Some of it is paying more attention to what it is that I'm trying to do. Okay? So part of that spin wasn't necessarily going to help me execute any kind of an application. It wasn't. It was because I could spin, and I was going to try and do it. It's not a bad thing to practice. It's not. Because that spin, yeah, I'm going to go this way. That spin, palm change 3. More or less. Try one more time. All the way around. Alright. Yeah, that was alright. First one's a little iffy. The second one was okay. Perfect? Nah. Which way am I going? Slow it down. I'm here. Right foot to the front. Left, right stops. Close. Turn. Down. Up. Twist. Turn. And go back the other way. Alright, I did that deliberately, and if you'll notice the footwork that I just did, emphasis on turning using the heel. Alright, and since you can see my feet, you can see it. Alright, as I'm moving, plant it, place it, turn, arrive. Alright, that one was good. That was good. Alright, do that. Again, I'm going to take the win. I'm taking the win. That ability, plant it, place it, do I have it, yes or no, yeah, I don't know, maybe. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So, what happened? What did I do? How do I get from knowing that I did something? Was it good? Was it not? To consistently doing what I should do, what I want to do. Practice? Really? Alright, in palm changes 7 and 8, we have the need to turn. Palm change 7, here. I gotta be ready to go back this way. Alright, and I'm trying to look at the camera and it ain't working. There we go. Alright? Spin and go out. That spin, right, here, this is palm change 7. Step up, close, step back, down, right here. If I don't set this foot back here, where I need to set it, I set it too far back, I set it in too close. Stand too close, you can usually move, but I set it too far back. When I try to turn, my weight doesn't get back fast enough to hit the turn. So I'm off balance. I'm not centered. If I set it too close, I have to be careful. I should go all the way down here. I have to be careful that I do transfer the weight right here. Set the heel to ready to go at the right time. Close the other foot, spin and stop. I need to keep going with that, and I'm going the other direction. Okay, so this comes out, step back here. Then I keep going. Alright, so stop, spin, turn. This direction, this direction. 1, 2. How do I adjust my weight? How do I adjust the spin so that I can go in both directions? Right? Paying attention, knowing where you're going helps tremendously. Right? The other part of it is this center thing that I keep talking about. And again, this it kind of keeps right in the center. All right, that, no, yes, that's sorta better. I don't know if you can see the difference. A little bit of an adjustment in my shoulder and my hip. So this is straighter, this stays more straight compared to, you see the difference? I exaggerated that a little bit, dropped my shoulder, but you can see the difference. That's the point, okay? So as I go into the spin, if I raise my shoulder, I'm now going to be off balance. If I don't set my hip, this hip is set over too much, it should be here, it's set over here. My weight's on this leg, so that's where my hip should be, right? But when I set this leg, if I haven't already moved, if I have not already moved, before I set my leg, if I have not already moved my hip, I'm not going to be able to spin. I'm too late. It won't happen, right? Now, I'm talking through that. All right, here's this, and I'm going to set the hip, and then, all right. As I move, as I'm turning, right? Try it again with the right hip. Now I'm going to try it. Yeah, might as well, right? Go this way. Let me go back here. Right. Set. This is back on the leg, back on the left. I'm going to turn on the right. I think, might, maybe. Have to make sure and take the hip with me. I did. Alright, hip came along with me that time. I'm taking the win. That process, right? What I just went through, that's practice. That's what we do in practice. All right, now, you may have, there may be people in the room and we're all practicing together. There may be people not in the room and we're still all practicing together. There may be whatever, you may be completely in your own space and enjoying that very much. Whatever your environment, you're paying attention to that, and you're also paying attention to what we want to practice, the kinds of movements that we want to practice for the art that we're practicing. Okay? I go back again, I've said this a couple of times. Years ago, I had been studying dance and I had a really great set of setups, which I can still do, sort of, not quite to the extent that I could do them back then, that I had mentioned to my teacher back then, Juan Leilun, and said, yeah, I'm doing these sit-ups, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to be able to be a better Tai Chi player. And he looked at me kind of funny and said, well, why don't you practice Tai Chi instead? You get better at Tai Chi, because if you practice that, you practice the sit-ups and whatever else it is you're doing. It's not a bad thing, but it's not going to help your Tai Chi get better. Practicing Tai Chi will help your Tai Chi get better. Yeah, that makes sense. And I did, and it got better. The same with Bagua. If we're practicing Bagua, we should not be practicing Xingyi. If we're practicing Xingyi, we should not be practicing Bagua. The kinds of things that we do. Right? The kinds of things that we do in Bagua. Simple. Circle. More circles. Lots more circles, right? All of the circles that we do. Yeah, I'm right foot, right hand. Spin, that's palm change 8. Right? How we get from one place to another, which foot goes where, right? How I turn, where my center ends up, split. It's different, right? This and this. Different. Palm change 3, palm change 6, this one. Palm change 2, palm change 4, the other one. Alright? Palm change 2, palm change 4. Palm change 3 and palm change 6. Each of these has its particulars. What we want to do versus what we can do. Alright? What we can do depends on our skill, right? So if I have the skill to set and turn, be able to stop. If I don't have control of the turn, I can't stop, right? I have to know where I'm going to stop. I did know that, where you're going to stop. How do I get there? What am I going to do? As I turn, what am I doing? So if I develop the skill to spin, does that help me? Yeah, it could. It could. It could. Right foot's still not quite there. It's not. Okay? Knowing that, right? Right foot's not quite there. Still a little bit right here in the lower back on the right side. So the hip doesn't want to align properly. When it does, I can spin. Right? That was still a little bit off, but it was much better. Okay? No, I'm not trying to go up here. I'm really not. No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. For this exercise, no. If I was in a ballet classroom, then yes, I would. And the spin that I'm doing for Bagua would not be appropriate. That's the point. As we're paying attention to the fundamentals for each art, as we pay attention to what are my hands doing, what are my feet doing, what does the art itself give us for how to practice? What should I do? What can I do? how can I further develop whatever my skill is? You know, lower skill, upper skill, turning. What is the skill that I'm developing? Yeah. Elbow? Yeah, elbow. Right? I have opportunities here. Lots of them. I have another opportunity here. This is palm change 5. This is from 7. Right? It's there. I just need to pay attention to it. The physical body alignment, the way that we move, the speed that we move, the manner that we move. How do we move? Bagua turns. There's twisting and turning in Bagua. Bagua moves quickly. Bagua is not slow. Bagua has a dynamic of movement that comes from being not slow and being on a circle. It does. Those circle patterns give us all kinds of physical energy, kinetic energy, from the movement that we want to develop, that we want to cultivate, so that not only do we develop more skill in keeping the body straight and well aligned and being able to do much more simple movements, we develop a greater level of skill at the more complicated movements. I didn't talk today about the patterns. I didn't talk today so much. I talked about, this is palm change, which there will be more that I will talk about with Bagua in the future. This is the last of the foundation classes for Bagua that I'm just reviewing right now. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we will work on Wudang's 3 basic methods. All right? This is dragon step, oiling snake, and creeping snake. And I just kind of indicated what those are. I'll talk a lot more about them next week. Thursday and Friday, this week and next week. Thursday, we have foundation sets for Wudang Qigong. I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention to focus on the movements. So a little bit more movement this week. Same for the advanced sets on Friday. Next week, the same Thursday and Friday Qigong, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wudang's 3 basic methods. I hope you'll join me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.